Big win in the Jägermeister Cup on Saturday. What's the team's reaction to getting a result like that?
It's just positive. It's good to get winnings on the road, and especially the cup games, because we're very serious about it.
Coming back home, where the team's been very strong defensively, something like 3 goals given up at the stadium so far this season. How do you prepare for this game to kind of maintain that defensive record here?
Just the communication from the team and with the defenders, same positive mindset and trying to defend at home, and we're gonna try to score more goals and get the 3 points at home.
You mentioned wanting to score more goals. Obviously, that had been kind of a problem. 7 goals in the last 2 games on the road. What do you take from that to bring home to continue to get those opportunities, get those goals?
I think we are on a good momentum. It's good for us, getting 7 goals in 3 games is very good. So we want to take that tomorrow. The same energy, same vibes.
So it's been kind of rough start to the season, but now 5 games unbeaten in all competitions. How does that affect the team's mentality, attitude?
Yeah, I think it's always better to collect a point or so without getting any. We're starting to score more goals now on the road, especially. That's good. We're building momentum. But I think it's just good for the confidence of the group. I think everybody's clicking right now. We have some more players coming back from injury. The bench is getting bigger, so now we have more support coming off the bench. I feel like in Indy, if we had 1 or 2 more players, they'd be able to definitely walk away with 3 points that game. But I think the confidence is growing in the group.
At home, defensive performance have been really great, only giving up maybe 3 goals. What's the difference between home and road in terms of keeping those clean sheets?
I think it's our wonderful fans, honestly. Just playing in front of them give us this extra boost for sure. I think we know how we're spacing on the field. We know the field. We're at home. There's always an advantage at home. And I think it's just like we try to keep momentum because we know we're good at home, so we're trying to keep that going. And as like the rhetoric for this year is to protect the fortress, so I want to keep that going.
You mentioned scoring goals. You've actually got, I think, 3 goals so far this season, contributing at that end. How do you take that 7 goals in the last couple of weeks and bring it back here to continue to put the ball back in the net?
I think it's good to see that we can score goals. And once we score more than 1, we know we could go on and score more. Kyle is away international break, but there's other guys that are hungry filling for a spot. I think there's a lot of guys have set goals for themselves. Like I have goals set for myself for 5 goals on the season, already gone 3, so maybe I'll push it to 8 now. But see Samu scores 2, Momo is in good form now. Other guys are saying it's their time now, so I'm excited. Every guy's stepping up, and when guys are talking without you asking them, they're confident, and that's good for the group.
Difficult stretch of games, 3 of the top 5 teams in the Eastern Conference coming here over the month. How do you prepare for that to get results from those fixtures?
I think it starts with the mentality and training. If the harder practices in the week, then the weekend becomes a little easier. I think everybody's been pushing this week. The recovery's been on point. Everybody's been pound roller training. It's the small details we're locking in on. People are asking questions in videos. We're getting the small details. And I feel like everybody's on board. Everybody's communicating. If we know a player from the team that's coming in, we kind of talk about them. Everybody's talking about individual strengths and weaknesses. Like we're just communicating a lot. We're trying to tune up the fine pieces. And I think with such good teams coming in, it's always the details that win us the game.
Last week, 4-4 draw in Indy. Let's talk about that one first. What was your reaction?
Pleased. I mean, we went with 13 pro players, so to come out with a 4-4 draw. We scored 4 goals on the road in Indy. We were having trouble scoring goals a couple of weeks ago, so that's a massive step forward for us. Had to be tighter at the end. Our bench was very thin, and that probably led to them scoring the 4th goal. We didn't have enough juice to put one more guy on to help kill the game.
You mentioned 4 goals, 18 shots, both highs in the league this season. Only the second time the team got 4 goals over the last 2 years. What contributed to that?
Mentality. Guys just approached the game the right way. We played at the right intensity. We played forward a lot faster than we have been. We weren't as slow on the ball, and it led to decent chances, and Kyle finished well. Particularly the ball that Mo lays off for him. That's a fantastic finish. So those 2 are in really good form right now, Kyle and Mo.
You've also mentioned defensive focus. A couple of moments of that in that game. Goals in stoppage time in both halves. Goals from set piece opportunities, corners. How do you kind of tidy that part of it up a little bit?
The biggest one that we had to address, there were two things. Our box defending when we're recovering, and that's where their last goal came from, was midfielders not recovering to the penalty spot and getting caught out wide, and helping to frame the box defensively. And the other one was a set piece where there were two free runners in the middle of our zone. Those guys are meant to be marked, and people lost their marks. So we sorted that out. We talked about that. That's just unprofessional. That can't happen.
Then go to Westchester on Saturday, get the win there, come from behind twice, late goal from Mo. Let's talk about that one.
Yeah, fantastic for the morale of the group. We had a few more guys available for that one, so we were able to give the game a little bit more at the end. And the guys just kept pushing. You know, it was, there were some unfortunate circumstances in the first half that put us behind. But outside of that, I thought the guys battled. It wasn't a pretty game, but we turned it up a level in the second half, and they weren't really, other than one counter, able to generate much going the other way.
2 goals for Emmanuel, his first goals for Hartford this year. How important is that for him getting out the mark?
It's huge, and we said it in the locker room, gave him the game ball. He won League Player of the Week, and all deservedly so. Those are 2 really high-end finishes. But I was more impressed that he was beating them to both boxes. He had 3 or 4 defensive clearances in our box that he wasn't able to get to 2 or 3 weeks ago. I think he's fully fit now, and we're starting to see his quality.
So now 5 games unbeaten in all competitions, come home, North Carolina coming in. What's the mentality of the team? What's the vibe in the locker room?
The vibe's very good. They're a stingy team, though. They don't give away much, and we have to respect their attacking prowess as well. I think they've scored 15 goals or somewhere in that neighborhood coming in, which means, you know, we're going to get tested. But they do concede possession at times, and we need to be sharp on it. Just make sure we play at the right tempo when we do have possession, and we can push them back and be patient, because, you know, defensively they put 9-10 guys behind the ball on every possession.
Obviously a big miss for this weekend is going to be Kyle away with the national team. He's in great form with 3 goals and an assist in the last week. How does that affect the team when you have a player who's on kind of that hot streak and then they're gone for a moment?
Yeah, we have 2 other guys in good form, in Addie and Becky, so I think they'll platoon it in some way, shape, or form, whether it's Becky from the start or Addie from the start, to complement Mo up top. But it's just opportunity. That's the only way we talk about it. That's the only way we look at it. But Kyle does deserve credit. He's in fantastic form right now. Hopefully he carries that into his national team and brings it right back to us.
And then at home, it's been defensively, I think only 3 goals conceded at the stadium. What's the difference between here and the road in terms of having that mentality?
I think we have a little bit more pop in our step at home. I do think the crowd matters, and the bigger the crowd gets and the louder the crowd gets, the more juice the guys have. That's a natural thing. But I also think we've taken on that kind of underdog role, and people think they're going to come here and get something. And, you know, that was certainly what we talked about before the Louisville game, and a few others. And the guys are taking pride in defending this field.
You mentioned kind of taking that underdog role. 3 of the top 5 teams in the conference coming in over the month, starting with North Carolina, then Loudoun and Charleston. How do you turn from being that underdog to taking points away from those games and not being the underdog?
Yeah, we've only lost 1 in our last 6 now, or 5 or 6. So I think, you know, we've turned that corner. Now we need to turn draws into wins. That's what's important for us now.